Attempts to grow plants on the moon, a remarkable scientific achievement. Humans have always been fascinated by the moon, and ever since the first humans set foot on its surface, scientists have been researching whether life can be sustained there. The moon's surface, which lacks an atmosphere, experiences extreme temperature fluctuations and has a severe water shortage, making it generally unsuitable for life. Despite these challenges, scientists have conducted various experiments to assess the possibility of biological life on the moon. Among these experiments, China's Chang'e 4 mission stands out as one of the most remarkable, as it successfully attempted to grow plants on the moon for the first time. Chang'e 4 was a lunar mission launched by China on January 3, 2019, and it landed on the far side of the moon. This was the first mission of its kind, as no human or machine had previously landed on this unexplored part of the moon. The primary objectives of this mission were to study the lunar surface, analyze the composition of the lunar soil, and determine whether biological experiments could be conducted successfully on the moon. As part of the Chang'e 4 mission, a biosphere experiment was included, which carried various biological samples from Earth to the moon. These included cotton seeds, potato seeds, canola seeds, yeast, and a specific species of flies. The aim of this experiment was to observe how these living organisms would respond to the moon's harsh environment and whether they could survive in such extreme conditions. First successful attempt at growing a plant on the moon. The biosphere experiment container aboard Chang'e 4 was specially designed to protect the biological samples from the moon's extreme environmental conditions. This container included a camera, a heater, and carefully selected plant seeds. Among these, the cotton seed was the first to sprout, making it the first plant to ever grow on the moon. This was a groundbreaking scientific achievement, as no previous attempts to grow plants on the moon had been successful. However, this success was short-lived. Due to the moon's extreme temperature variations between day and night, as soon as nighttime arrived, the temperature dropped to -170 degrees Celsius, causing the cotton plant to die. Why was this experiment important? This experiment was a milestone for several reasons. First successful biological life experiment on the moon. Previous lunar experiments primarily focused on collecting soil and rock samples or studying lunar weather conditions. Chang'e 4 was the first mission to carry live biological materials and successfully observe their growth. Implications for future lunar settlements. If humans are to establish a permanent presence on the moon, growing food there will be essential. This experiment helped scientists understand which types of plants can survive in the moon's extreme conditions and which ones would require artificial greenhouses. Relevance to future Mars colonization. The attempt to grow plants on the moon is also significant for future plans to colonize Mars. If life can be sustained on the moon with limited resources, similar techniques could be applied to Mars. Studying lunar soil for agricultural use. Lunar soil is vastly different from Earth's soil. Determining which plant species can grow in it could be a major scientific breakthrough. If large-scale agriculture becomes possible on the moon, it could facilitate the establishment of a permanent human colony. Previous experiments and future research. Before Chang'e 4, several experiments attempted to simulate lunar conditions on Earth and grow plants. In 2015, NASA conducted plant growth experiments on the International Space Station (ISS), successfully cultivating lettuce and red radishes. While these plants thrived in microgravity, growing plants on the moon was an entirely new challenge. Current research is focusing on hydroponic and aeroponic techniques, which do not require soil and allow plants to grow using only water and nutrients. These methods could be key to growing food on the moon. Future of agriculture on the moon. Lunar agriculture is still in its early stages, but scientists hope that in the coming decades, we will be able to establish permanent greenhouses on the moon, where plants can be grown in a controlled environment. Some key requirements for this include artificial environments, structures that protect plants from the moon's harsh climate. Water availability. Water has already been discovered on the moon, but further research is needed to extract and utilize it for agriculture. Sunlight management. Since a lunar day lasts 14 Earth days and is followed by a 14-day-long night, artificial lighting systems will be essential for plant growth. NASA, the European Space Agency (ESA), and China's space program are all working on lunar agriculture projects to ensure long-term human habitation on the Moon. Conclusion: China's Chang'e 4 mission and its plant-growing experiment marked a small yet crucial step in space exploration. Although the experiment lasted for only a short period, it opened the door for future research into lunar agriculture. If growing plants on the Moon becomes a reality, it could revolutionize space travel and significantly impact future human colonization of other planets. This experiment proves that while establishing life on the Moon is a challenging task, advancements in modern science bring us closer to making this dream a reality. In the coming years, further experiments will be conducted, and perhaps one day, we may even enjoy a meal made from crops grown on the Moon.